Good morning, guys. So in the previous session, we have seen that standard controllers and standard list controllers. So what is standard controller? If you want to have a Visual Force page with your own customized layout and you need to use the default functionalities like a save, cancel, edit, delete, you can go for the standard controller. Okay, then what is standard list controller? So that is called as pagination. What is a pagination? If you have 1000 records in one page, if you want to display some records, and when you click on the next set of records will be displayed, and that's called as standard list controller. Okay, and then we have standard set controller. Let's see, before that I'll say that we have standard set controller and extension controllers. Okay, standard set controllers, extension controllers, and then we have custom controllers. Okay, so before going to this standard set controller, let's see extension controller. Okay, here when I use the standard controller, if I use all the details, if I click on save, the default operation will be performed and record will be updated in the database. Whether it is save, it means whether it is an insert or update, the data will be saved into the database. Right? Now, if I want to override the save functionality, what can I do? Okay, for that what I can do is I can create my controller like as it's also an Apex class only. Okay, here what I'm trying to is account standard extension. Okay, account standard extension, it means account standard controllers extension. We are extending the functionality for this standard controller. Okay, once you write like this, then what you have to do, public void, you need to override the method. What is the method we have? It means functions. What are the functions we have in this create account? We have save function. Okay, the save function you need to override in this. Okay, but if you are writing the extension controller, how we have to write that is we should have a constructor with parameterized constructor. Okay, here it is, public constructor. Then here I have to use standard controller Apex pages dot standard controller, as it is a standard controller only, right? So standard controller, then I'm using controller. Okay, now here if I want to use account, okay, so whatever the account here I'm creating, when I click on save button, one account record will go into the controller. That controller's account we are getting into the extension controller using the standard controller. So this extension controller, what we have to do, we have to get the account. For that what I am trying to is public account type of ACC, then I am using set and get. Okay, so what is set and get? When you use the set, it is setting the values into the account from the Visual Force page to Apex. When you use this get, it means in the Visual Force page which is need to display, that can be get the value. Get means getting the value, set means setting the value. Where the value will be set, it is in the Visual Force page to controller. Where the value will get from controller to Visual Force page. That's it. Okay. Now here ACC, this dot ACC equals to controller. So as we pass some parameters into the constructor, we can use that, right, in the class. So what I'm writing is controller dot if you want to see the standard controller methods, you can use standard controller with extension. So you need to have the constructor. We have a method called get record. Okay, you can go to the controller extension class, standard controller. These are the methods we have in the standard controller class. Okay, so here add fields, cancel, delete, edit, get ID, get record, reset, save, view. Okay, these are the methods we have in the standard set controller. Okay, so these are the methods we can have in the standard controller. Okay, this is the controller class and we have the methods. Okay, this one, so get record ID. So this get record ID, what it returns? Get record ID will return a subject. Okay, so we have to convert that into the account object. So what we have to do is we have to put account. So this means this is called typecasting. Okay, this is called typecasting. So this is giving a subject, from a subject to account we can create it, and if you want to convert account to a subject also you can do that. Okay, the same way. Now here, so if you want to convert account to a subject, you can do like this. A subject s equals to s object. You can directly add that. So this is a downcasting, we can call it. Okay, if you want to convert a subject to account, you have to specify externally. That is called upcasting. Okay, upcasting and downcasting we have. That is typecasting. So finally, once you are writing like this, you have overridden the save method, right? Now if you want to edit, if you want to show, if you want to verify whether something is selected or not, okay, ACC dot, let's say type is not selected. Okay, type is not selected. In this case, if you want to show the error message, if type equals to this, then if I want to show the error message, apex pages dot add message new apex pages dot message of apex pages dot severity dot. So here confirm, error, fatal, hash code, info. So these are the things, warning and everything. So we know that if you make it error, it shows in the red color. If you put it confirm, it just shows some different value like that. Okay, here what I am writing is error, then message, please select type. Okay, so this is the standard syntax. There is no chance to change this. You have to use the same way. Apex pages dot add message and new apex pages dot message of severity and like this. If you put like this, let's say error, then confirm, fatal, then warning. Okay, I'm using all this and we'll see that how the thing will display. Okay, and once if everything is selected, then we need to perform insert account. You can have, if you want to verify the industry as well, you can add the same like acc.type not equals to this. Okay, then you have to return. Then finally insert acc. Okay, now here let's see what is it. Okay, in this Visualforce page, what you have to do is we have created the extension controller, but we have not linked that controller to this page, right? For that, what you have to do is you have to use extensions. Okay, then the Apex class name. This is called controller name, extension controller name. You can have any number of extension controllers. Okay, if you have many extension controllers and all are having the same method, save method, okay, then which will be executed? The first one which is leftmost, that will be executed. Okay, now let's try to create this. Okay, now without type, let's try this. Okay, so it didn't save, but messages are not displayed, right? For that, we have to show one tag called apex colon messages. Okay, now if you display like this, apex pages. Let's see if accounts are created. Okay, these are all created. Okay, all are created, but the problem is it is not displaying the messages. Let's see what is the reason. Whether it is clearly saved. Yes, just debug this instead of writing this, debug the type, what it is coming, whether it is null or what it is coming. CC dot type. Now here logs, in these logs it's coming null, so we have to verify with null, not empty. Okay, for some of the pick list values it comes empty, and for some of the values it comes null. Okay, based on the selection and the defined values. Okay, now let's see that. Okay, so this is a error, please select type. Okay, and we have this all information. You can put only one, that error. These are not required. Okay, now here if you use, say, it shows the error message. Okay, why it is showing 2? Because we have added two things, apex messages and page messages. Page messages will display like this. Okay, messages will display like this, whatever you want to do. So you can remove the messages and now you can have page messages. Okay, so that is the difference between page messages and messages. Messages will display in the normal text format, and page messages will display in separate box here with the information. Okay, now okay, once the record is created, then we have to redirect this to record a detail page, right? For that, what we can do is, there is a thing called page reference. Okay, everything is a page. Reference means which one. Okay, now what we can do is, we can have a page reference. Once the record is inserted, then we have to redirect to that page. So we have to say that page reference. Okay, so this is the class what we have to return. And here once the record is created, we know that when we have a record ID, so what we can do here, select the ID, and if you want to go to that record, so after that you can just paste the ID and click on enter. It comes to the detail page. The same way, what we can do is, we can make that return new page reference of, what we can do is slash plus acc.id. Okay, so what does it mean? Missing the return statement required. Here, if you say that return null, it goes to the same page. Okay, we'll see how it goes. If you are using okay, save, it is throwing the error message here only. And when you select the type, save, it goes to the detail page. Okay, that is called extension controller. When you use this, the standard functionality is overridden with your own functionality, then we can say it as a extension controller. Okay, any doubts on this? This is how we have to use the extension controllers. Okay, this is the main important step here. Control dot get record is the important. Okay, and get record ID as well you can. Clear? Then, so this is a way of doing the Visual Force page with the extension controller. Okay, now here we have the list controllers, right? List controller means it displays the records in different the pagination way. right? It is displaying 20 records and click next. It is displaying that. Okay, I don't want 20. Now I just need only 10 per the page. Okay, for that what we can do is we can create a standard list extension. Account list extension. The same way, what is we are going to extend, we have to create one, the controller class for that. We should use constructor public, then okay, and here once it is done we have to get the, so as it is a standard controller we use the standard controller. As it is a standard list controller we have to use standard set controller. Dot standard set controller. So a list controller is by default will be there. If you want to override that we have to use the standard set controller. We should remember that the different name is different. Okay, and here controller dot, here we have lot of things. Okay, let's say that I want to have only page size. If I want to set the page size we can use set page size. Okay, if you set the page size, let's say 15 or let's say 10 I am using. Okay, now here if once it is done we just need to use this in the extension. Here see that 10 records, click on next, it goes next 10, it goes next 10. Okay, and if you put first it goes to here, if you put last it goes to here. So the page size we have override this. Okay, then how many methods we have in this dot. So you can just search for that and you can find lot of information on this standard set controller. Okay, so these are the standard controllers, methods, another thing. We have methods, see here, cancel, first it means go to the first page of the records, and then get filter ID, get has next, has previous, page number. So if you say that page number, if you click on next, it displays the page numbers. And page size, what are the number of records in that, get record or get records we have. So then last, next, previous, save. Even you can write this pagination for the records editing also. Okay, then set filter ID, set page number, then page size, set selected record as well. Okay, so these are the methods we have in the standard extension, standard set control. Okay, this is the way of it. You can override the first, next, last methods as well. Okay, on first records what are the records need to be displayed, on the second one what are the records need to be displayed, like that you can use that. Okay, so that's how it works here, standard set controller. Okay, we have seen that standard set controller and extension controller, standard list controller as well. Now here, what is custom controller? So custom controller, it is your own business logic. It has its own business logic. It doesn't use any standard functionalities. Okay, it doesn't use any standard functionality. You have to handle each and everything. Let's say you have to handle the exceptions. Okay, you have to handle all the errors. Okay, everything should be handled in the custom controller. Okay, let's write one custom controller to create the account. Okay, now I'm going to write one Apex class. Okay, account controller. So when we say that account controller, it says custom controller. You don't need to mention externally. Here, the if you want to have the constructor, you should have first. Then I should have one account variable. Otherwise, I cannot perform the DML operations. Set colon get. Okay. Once it is done, I'm going to create one custom controllers constructor public. So there will be no parameters are allowed. There is no restriction, but you cannot pass anything while calling from the Visual Force page. So I'm just using this. If ACC equals to null, CC equals to new account I'm using. Okay, now when I use account, I have to save the record, right? So when I save the record, I should use the thing like method called public page reference. Why I'm using page reference? To send it back to the detail page. Okay, as of now return null I'm using. Okay, here you want to do the operations here. If you want to validate something, what you have to do, if acc dot type equals to null, okay, it's the same way of messages, apex pages dot add message, new apex pages dot message, then apex pages dot message dot cvrt. Oh god, forgot it. Account. cvrt apex pages dot cvrt dot error, then message, please select type. Okay, as well you have to use this, and then you should return to the page. Return null means if this error occurs, go to the same page. That's it. So it should not go to any other page. Line number 13, apex pages, let me apex pages, and we need one more. Okay, once we have validated, how about if we have the validation rules? Let's write one validation rule on this. Counts, then validation rules. Here, what I'm trying to do some validation is, let's say if agriculture, I mean if the industry is null, I have to throw the error message. Let's say that is null of industry, throw the error message. What is that? Please select industry. Okay, validate industry. Okay, save. Okay, so here, as it is a pick list, we have to use is pick val of industry. Okay, use save. So now I have your validation rule. If you try to create one account without industry, it throw the error message, right? Then the same error message also will throw in the apex page also, right? So how to handle that? Let's say, let me create one Visualforce page with this one. Account create. Then here I have to use controller equals to account controller. Okay, now here apex colon form. Okay, once done, then you have to use apex colon page block. We have already seen all these tags, so that I'm just keep on writing on that. Here, as it is, however we have created this, Visualforce page. Okay, I'm using all this information. Same thing, I'm just using in this. Okay, so this page block section, I'm using this section items here, page block. Remove this as we have already. Then, okay, so here as we use this custom controller, right? We should not use the standard account name. So however we have used in the standard controller Visualforce page, you cannot use like this. What you have to use, you should use ACC, because that is a variable we are going to deal with the operations. Okay, you should use like this. Okay, this is how we have to write. Then once it is done, we have to write this thing called apex colon page block buttons. Here command button where action action equals to save. This method name is not mandatory to have same one. You can use save record. Page block buttons should be inside the page block. Use this. Value equals to save account. You can give whatever the name you want. Okay, here create, and this is the method. Now this is saved. Now you can save this. Okay, once the record is saved, then only it comes here, otherwise it is. Now here, let's say that I'm going to have this create account. Okay, so this create account, so this is the Visual Force page. Just click on this. It comes like this. Okay, now I'm using test. Click on save. Oh, sorry, we didn't use. What did we miss? Huh? Yes. Apex colon page messages. Okay, here test save account, throwing the error message. Now I have added prospect. Click on save. Do this. It's come back. See that whether it is created or not. This is the latest one, valid account. Then it doesn't create an account with this one. Test, I created this. Then click on save account, and it didn't come anywhere. It's just throwing the error message. I mean, we didn't receive any error message, but it's in the same way. Okay, here we didn't use insert as of now. That's why it's not throwing. Now here, insert ACC. The record need to be inserted, right? So to perform the DML operation, we should use insert, update, delete or undelete operations. Okay, to insert the record, we have to use insert operation on this. Now let's try to create the record. Say, throwing the error message. Okay, if it is in the standard page layout, it throws the error message there itself. But here, as you are performing the DML operation and you are not validating that, so it throws the error message here itself. Right? So you have to handle that as well. Okay? It means whatever the validation rule you have written on that thing, okay? So on that particular field, whatever the validation rule you have written, that you should validate before inserting the record. So the same way you have to write like this. Okay, here it is, industry. Okay, here please select industry. Okay, other case, let's say you are not adding that, you don't have this. Let's say in future someone has added validation rule on that, it fails, right? In that case, what we can do is try, then catch. Okay, now here we are trying to insert the record here when we will go for the try catch. Here there is a chance that may be failed because there might be some exception, like some validation rule is there, some required field is missing, something else. In that case, it throws the error message. If it doesn't throw the error message, what we have to do, we have to return new page reference of acc.id. Okay, if it is exception, we have to we have to show the error message, something has gone wrong. Here what I'm trying to do is, please fill all fields. Here we can say that something gone wrong. Okay, something went wrong, so please fill all the fields. Okay, now save this. Now here, when I use that, click save. So here it's showing the please select the industry validation rule. Okay, how the validation rule is showing here? Because did we remove that or not? Okay, so if you use the try catch, okay, if you use the try catch, then let's say that if you don't use this apex images, if you use that, say, please select the industry. Okay, now this is how we have to handle that thing. Okay, and here as we have the validation rule, it is displaying at two places. One is at the page level, okay, another one is at this one. So how it is displaying? Because it is displaying that in the this one account create, here we are displaying the message. So this is for custom messages, it is displaying as it is. Then another one is for to display the, this is validation rule, so it is displaying here. You don't need to worry, it throws like that. Okay, so if you have a validation rule, you are not required to mention this page messages. Okay, and this is one way of handling the error message. Another way is, if it is required, then what you can make it is, after mentioning input field, if you see that there will be some different thing, required and rendered. Required, if you make it true, then it asks for the record. It is mandatory. Okay, now if you put like this and click on save, you must enter a value because it is mandatory. Okay, now here once you put on these, then only it allows the record. Once the record is there, and record will be inserted here. This is how we have to handle the different error messages and different exceptions in the custom controller. This is a website. So we know that we can upload the CSV file into Salesforce using import widgets and data loader, even through the workbench also, right? Then how do we can read the data through the Salesforce Apex and Visualforce page? Let's say from the Apex Visualforce page, I have to write this. Let's say that this is the way I have the name, account name, number, and then different fields are there, and I want to upload this file. Okay, I need to display this. You just need to analyze this. That's why I'm giving this site. I'm not writing the code. Why? Because Visualforce page will be having different functionalities and different things will be there. You have to know each and everything. I cannot explain each and every line of the code, and I can't write each and every line of the code for the Visualforce page or Apex. I will show some examples to you from the different websites, and you have to prepare that, and you have to understand that why I'm saying that you can't find different examples for the different Visualforce pages and different sites. Okay, you can't find in the our PDF guide or something else. You have to go through this some of the sites and need to learn that. Okay, Visual Force is the large subject. Apex is limited, so we have the Apex, which asynchronous Apex and different triggers and other things. That's more than that. Okay, here I will explain you this thing, how they are writing and everything. Okay, so this is a CSV file we have. Okay, and these are the headers we have, and these are the data we have, right? Headers means name, account number, type. These are the headers. It means fields, right? These are the fields, and this is the data. Okay, we have to read that. How to read that? First, they have created one controller here, and that controller, see that first, try to understand this one. We know that CSV file will be in the format of blob. Okay, from blob to we have converted into string, from string to another string, then it is like this. Okay, now see that import. So they have created CSV lines. Okay, first CSV file lines, they are converting that into strings, and then ACC list, new accounts they are creating. How to do that? CSV string, they are just converting the blob into string. Then they have splitted in them into /n. What is /n? /n means new lines. Okay. Then we have lines. We have the CSV lines in the list. Then it is iterating from each and every one. Okay. I think you have some blank faces. Let me create the same. First, let's create the Apex page first. Sorry, Visual Force class. Sorry, Apex class. Okay. So import controller. I am giving that. Let's say that I am giving CSV. Okay. So in this controller, I know that when the file comes here, it will come in the form of blob. Okay, blob means binary object. Okay, now here, so to store that file, I should have some value, right? Let's say we have used the custom controller to create account. We have declared one variable called ACC, right? The same way, to store that file information, we should have one variable that's called blob. Public, then blob of file body I am giving. We should use set and get. Okay, once it is come, then what we have to do, we should convert this, so this one file into the our own format. It means this record is one line, this record is one line, so it means this line is one record and this line is one record, so we should have different accounts. So each and everything will come in the format of strings, one line in one string. Okay, so we should have one list of string public. Okay, list of string. Okay, I am saying that file lines set. Okay, now here what happens, we have body, from body to lines we have created, and now lines should be divided, right? How the line should be divided? Lines should be divided with different. So for this field, this is the value. For this field, this is the value. That we can do that. Okay. Now here what we are doing is, we are using. So to store the records, we should have the list, right? So we are converting them into whatever it is, account or contact, whatever you want to do. Account, SCCS. Okay. Now here, I'm writing one constructor. public state. Okay, here I'm using acc equals to with new list. Okay, and lines as well with new list of string. Okay, once the file is selected, you have to click on upload or some save some button, right? So that means once you click on that, we should have one function, it means one method to capture that action, right? For that, we are saying that public void upload. Okay, now this once it is done, we have to read the blob body. Okay, so here what we have to do is string body equals to CSV file body dot toString. So what happens is the entire file will be in the single string. Okay, the entire file data will be in the single file. I will show that as well. You don't need to worry. Just say that body. Now let's create one Visualforce page. Upload file. Controller equals to CSV import. Okay, here apex colon, what I'm trying to is input file. We have input file. Now here what we have to do, so what is content where it has to be displayed? Okay, value equals to, it should be in the CSV file body, right? The file body should go in this one. Okay, disabled file name, if you want to give that, you can use here public string of file name, string file name of setters and getters. Okay, now once it is ready, you can write one command button. We have the function or method, it is upload. Okay, value equals to upload file. Okay, now so as this is, we don't know whether what it comes here. Okay, so let's see that. Let's create one CSV file. Here I am creating name, type, then industry. Okay, I'm using active. Okay, so I'm using account 1231, account 1232. using 10 records. Type I'm using, you can use this. Type is prospect. Then we have, sorry, other. Here industry I'm using education, and energy. Then very simple, other. Act 2 true, false. I'm just using this. You can use any number of fields. Okay, you can use any number of records. Okay, then Alt F8 as it should be in the, so I'm using that CSV Machintos accounts. Okay, now let's call this Visual Force page. We have review. Okay, choose the file as we know that. So accounts CSV. Okay, upload. Now see the debug. See here how the data came. It is in a single line, name, type, industry, active. And the same line, account 123, prospect, education, tribe. How can we say that it is in the same line or not? It is in the 15th line only. Okay, so until 1239. Now I want to convert that string into my own format. It means one line, I mean one line of the CSV file should be into the one string. So that what I'm trying to do is lines equals to just converting into the lines. Okay, here body dot split slash n. Now here dot debug of. So I'm just showing that how to work with this one. You have to analyze that. What do you want and how to achieve that. Now here this is in different lines we have. So it is in the string. Okay, I mean it is in the list of string. Okay, we have divided them into that. Okay, now here once it is done, now I want to get these lines into account, right? So here first what I need to do is for string, let's say that integer I equals to 1, I less than file lines dot size I plus plus. Why I'm using this I equals to 1 instead of 0? First line says headers, so here I'm using, let's say at 1 what is the value. So here file lines dot get of I. I'm showing you each and everything, you don't need to worry. Here let's select that again, Here it is, line by line it is. Where is this? Line number 18 is okay. And how about line number 20? What is this? Useless. Should be CSV. CSV means comma separated files. Here you can use, that doesn't matter here. Accounts 1, open, upload. Now you can see the results. Okay, so the line number 20, so the 10 lines came here. This is comma separated values. CSV file is comma separated values. Okay, so we have 10 lines of code here. That means 10 records we have inserted. 10 records should be here as well. Okay, line number 1, first record, second record, third record, up to 9 records we have. Same way. So once we have all the files here. Okay, now we have to convert that into this one, as we have just split with /n to place the, so how, what we have done as of now, this is completely came in single string. Now we have decided with /n means it is a new line. Until this is one line and this is one line, so we decided like this. But now we have to separate the values, right? First value of the name. Now here what we have to do is, this is also one string, it comes here, right? String data, line data. So one, let's say that record data, one record data, right? One record data equals to this, right? One record is data is there. Then we have to separate that record data with what is the value for the name, what is the value for type and other things. For that as well, we have string of this, then data equals to record data dot split of comma. Why we are giving comma? So if you see in the debug file, it's like as comma separated, right? Account name is one value, later we have comma, after this type, then comma, then this one. Okay, as it is, what you have to do is, now we have data. Okay, you have to create the account. Account A equals to new account. Okay, first we are going to give it name. Name equals to data of 0, right? And the first it will be 0. Then we have name, then type, right? Type equals to data of 1. Then we have industry, data of 2. Okay, then active we have, but active, what we have to do is active w_c equals to boolean dot value of data of 2 3. Okay, now accounts are ready. You have to add this account into this list. ACC is dot add of A. Now use the system.debug whether these are created or not. Upload. Now here, see the records. Okay, account, then active equals to false, then like this. Now finally what you have to do, you just need to perform insert operation on this accounts. insert ACCS. Okay, once the records are inserted, I have to show one message: all accounts are inserted. Okay, for that what I'm trying to do is, let's create one variable called message. Okay, public message, or you can directly use that information like, so once the record is inserted, apex pages dot message dot new apex page dot message dot severity dot, this is information, right? Info, just information, records are inserted. Okay, and now we have to use that. Which one? Pages dot messages. Message is a different thing. We have to use each and every. Records are inserted. Okay, now let's use file, but no message is displayed here because apex page messages we have to add into the page. Okay, let's see accounts are created or not. You can see the accounts are created. Okay, this is how you have to prepare the Visualforce page and apex combination. Okay, use this website effectively, and I will give some of the other examples as well. See that how to show the error message in Visualforce page. Wrapper class in apex class, this will come later on this. Custom pick list values, importing CSV file using which apex and SOQL query in JavaScript, SOSL example, select all checkboxes using Visualforce. This is important. Okay, you can learn this. This is will come in some requirements as well. Custom Visualforce component, action function. This I will example. I will give the examples. So pagination with standard set controller we have already done. Okay, so